Grief is change. It changes our life, our routine, our plan, and right along with it, grief changes us. And some of these changes will be forever and long lasting, but some will only be a part of the acute and early stages of grieving, whatever that timeline looks like for you. And some of these changes aren't necessarily all bad. But let me ask you something. Other than the obvious change that we all want, our loved ones back, when you think of your life now, isn't what you want is some sort of change in how you feel, change in your motivation, change of the vision that you have for the future, especially if you don't have one yet, change in your outcome on some level? Do you believe that you can change your grief? And if you believe it, what would that look like to you? Now, I can teach you and I talk about how to change the direction of your grief. Grief is coming with us, but we can be the driver or the passenger. But in this video, we're going to talk about how grief changes us long-term, short-term, and what changes can be positive. And yes, I said positive. Let's start here. How grief changes us for now. We might notice changes in sleep, eating, and overall energy. Personality changes like being more irritable, less patient, and no longer having the tolerance for other people's small problems. Forgetfulness, trouble concentrating and focusing. Becoming more isolated either by choice or circumstances. Feeling like an outcast. Relationship changes with family and friends as they react to the new us. Feeling more anxious, afraid, or fearful for the future as we wonder what's next or where do we go from here, or waiting for the other shoe to drop, as many say. So if we say that these changes are for now, when exactly can we expect to change back? Well, here's where it gets tricky. As I often say, no one should expect to go back to who they were before their loved one died. These losses shape, change, and mold us like few other things in life can. But those fundamental parts of who we are, the focus we once had, the organization, the patience, those things tend to come back in time. So how does grief change us forever? Most will forever feel that a part of them is missing. Like every day will sort of have this void where they wish their loved one could be. Many will carry at least some part of the trauma that surrounds even expected loss and feel a little broken or wounded in some way. For some, there could be a fundamental change in how they perceive the fairness of life. And so what do we do about this? Well, it's hard to talk about any good that could come from or out of loss, and those grieving never want any part of their loss to be presented with the old silver lining cliche. There are other changes that we can experience, and unlike those listed above, they aren't all bad. How about this? Opportunity to feel closer to others, especially those families and friends who provided really good support to us. New friendships that may develop because of loss, a coworker or neighbor who unexpectedly reached out and stepped up, or connections made in support groups or TikTok. No longer sweating the small stuff, having a deeper understanding of really matters in life. Becoming more compassionate and understanding to those around us. The way loss can so totally break us so that we have no choice but to rebuild from the bottom up and fix some things along the way that we really needed to fix. The loss of a loved one can show us a strength, resilience, and independence that we may not have known that we have. It can create opportunities for us to surprise ourselves with the things that we can do and the things that we can endure. Now, I've spoken to thousands, literally thousands of those grieving their life before loss. And many have shared similar stories about a friend who may have suffered a loss before them, and they'll say now, I had no idea what they were going through, and they'll talk about how badly they feel as they look back and see that they too had offered the well-intended but empty condolences. One thing they also always say is that, but that will never happen again, they always say, because for better or worse, there will never again be someone who doesn't understand or doesn't know how to help. They have that in you now, in us. So while we never choose to be an ambassador to grief, we can choose in time to embrace the roles that we've been given. And so that for now and forever, we can be someone who can help another walk this long and painful path. And perhaps we'll find the chance to grow and heal right along with them.